Please welcome Nintendo President and COO Reggie
Fils-aimé.
If you say so.
Welcome to E3 Nintendo fans. And you guys thought we wouldn't have a press conference. Not my problem. We have Nintendo's biggest stars backstage, ready to make some big announcements.
Oh, great! Another Mario game!
Don't love your tone, but actually no new Mario game today.
What? I'm getting bombed? Bring my cart around! I'm out of here!
Hey, looks like I'm the new face of Nintendo. Hey, they promised me you would be here! Come on, Reggie, give us Mother 3!
How about this instead?
Hey, wait a minute! If Nintendo's heroes are backstage, who's watching the bad guys?
Not my problem.
It's me, Wario!
I guess this is my problem. While I go Reggie on these fools, here's what's new. Ah!
Hello, I'm Masahiro Sakurai from Sora Limited. Here at the Nintendo Digital event, I'd like to lead off by talking about Super Smash Bros. Right now, you're seeing two familiar bigwigs facing off in a friendly battle. But this isn't a simple pre-rendered animation. What you are seeing will be possible in the new Smash Bros. Games. Now, by using a Mii fighter, anyone can join the battle. I thought about having Mii characters appear in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, but in the end decided against it. Somehow at the time, it didn't seem right to have Miis punching and kicking. For this game, though, we're not simply throwing the Miis into the fray. We've done some serious work getting them ready for a fight. Have a look. They're almost not even Miis anymore. I think you can tell that the Miis are going to be just as competitive as the other characters. Mii fighters will come in 3 varieties. Brawlers fight empty-handed and prefer to be up close and personal. Mii brawlers are both fast and powerful. Sword fighters are weapon masters. They stay cool and calm as they chase down opponents. Gunners are armed with mysterious arm cannons. They have lots of different projectiles that can be fired from long range. Brawlers, sword fighters, and gunners. Each type is treated as a separate fighter. And each type can choose 4 special moves from 12 options. This means that the Mii fighters will have a total of 36 special moves from which to choose. It would take 9 regular fighters to equal that number of moves. But I didn't decide to include Miis in the lineup just so you or your friends could join the battle. See, every day, I receive requests for new characters to be added to the game, and now you can use Miis to recreate any character you like and fight as them. Anyone can join the battle. You can fight, anyone can fight. This is your chance to defeat Nintendo's greats. We're fast approaching the sales date of the 3DS version. The game is almost complete, but of course there are an astronomical number of variables in a game like this. We have to be sure to put enough people on the debug team and test it correctly. Thank you for your patience. We've put all our focus into getting the fighters, items, assist trophies, stages, and enemy characters ready and in the game. And there are many different modes besides the main Smash battles. I won't go over them in detail now, but let me show you a bit of what's in store for you. There are many more game elements that we haven't introduced yet, but I don't think we can talk about them all before we release. However, this will be our first Smash Bros. Game on a handheld, so I hope you're all looking forward to Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Nintendo's digital event at E3. This year we wanted to do something different to celebrate what it means to be a Nintendo fan. Today you'll meet many of the talented Nintendo teams working hard to deliver great games and hear some of our big E3 news, with more to be shared throughout the show. While I've changed out of my Fire Flower suit for now, Mario is still close to my heart. You may recognize this as what Mr. Iwata used earlier to defeat my Mii fighter in Super Smash Bros. Now, I'll say there's no way he beats me without resorting to a little magic. And in fact, I'm right. That's exactly what he did. Because this is no ordinary toy. This is one of the first in a new line of products Nintendo has in development called Amiibo. And only on Nintendo systems will you be able to enjoy all the different experiences in this Toys to Life category. Along with Amiibo, both Disney Infinity and Skylanders Trap Team have unique features and functionality that can only be found on Wii U. There's a special chip that's embedded in every figure. Any Wii U system will recognize the figures by touching them on the Wii U gamepad. And when that happens, they spring to life in compatible games in cool new ways. When you touch Amiibo to the gamepad, the character's data is downloaded into the game you're playing. And it's also a two-way street. We can send information back to the figure. So in other words, your figure's data changes as you play, which opens the door for various new gameplay possibilities. For example, your own figure with its own unique stats and fighting style will not only appear, but also evolve as a fighter in Super Smash Bros. On Wii U. In fact, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U will indeed be the first game to support Amiibo. In other words, this holiday we're not only releasing the game you've been waiting for, but also Amiibo that literally gives you new ways to play. As you saw in my battle with Mr. Iwata, when you use an Amiibo in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, that character will appear as a fighter in the game and compete in battles, developing its own unique attributes and skills. You can fight against them yourself, have them score off against other Amiibo. They can even join you and fight on the same team. But Super Smash Bros. Is just the start. Amiibo play is also being prepared right now for a number of other Nintendo games. One of those is a game many of you are already playing, Mario Kart 8. We'll have more details on that and other games soon. I'm guessing you've got a lot of questions, but there's much more to cover in this digital event today. So I'm going to ask you to do this. When we're done here, at any time you can catch Nintendo of America's own Bill Trinan, who's hosting a dedicated Amiibo video that goes into a little more detail. So be sure to find him at Nintendo.com or the Nintendo YouTube channel. Super Smash Bros. And Amiibo are big initiatives for Nintendo. But now it's time to give you a sneak peek at some of the many projects in development. Whenever I'm over in Japan and lucky enough to see these new games, I'm reminded of the first video game I fell in love with, Super Mario World on my Super NES. I played it endlessly, finished with 99 lives, and I still have that cartridge. I bet you remember the first game you fell in love with too. Those of us who play games know that there's nothing quite like them in the world. And those of us who love Nintendo know that no matter what's going on in our lives, we can always count on these games to deliver fun and great gameplay, because it's Nintendo. But what is it like to make these games? Well, you're about to find out directly from our development teams. They're working on some amazing new projects that underscore the point that there's never been a better time to play games on Nintendo platforms. At the end of the day, Nintendo game creators share one belief: there's nothing wrong with having a little fun. With that, I'm going to step aside to let our developers show you their new games. Enjoy the rest of the show.
I'm Tezuka of Nintendo. How do you do?
I'm Ebisu of the Goodfield Company. Thanks for having me.
When Nintendo reached out to Goodfield, we didn't ask them to make Yoshi's Woolly World as a sequel to Kirby's Epic Yarn. We said we wanted to make a Yoshi game. But we asked them to use the yarn and fabric as materials for creating new gameplay mechanics. To create a new kind of Yoshi game filled with those kinds of elements.
For Kirby, we used strands of yarn as the core element and expressed things through their movement. This time, now that we were working in a three-dimensional world with depth, the challenge was that a single strand wasn't going to be visually impressive. So how do you play with a pile of yarn? Or some cloth? We thought about those things pretty hard.
They get unraveled and knitted up, and do a lot of things like that. Both Mario and Yoshi games are 2D action platformer games. The big difference is that Mario games are about performing challenging tasks within a given time limit. But with Yoshi games, they don't have any time limits. So you're able to freely explore the vast game world. You can make new discoveries. It's turning out to be an action game where you can have fun in a wide variety of ways.
When you usually make an action game, things like how far you can jump are set at a certain distance, so you would build the terrain with that in mind. But in the case of Yoshi, he's so almighty. If he tries, he can fly as far as he wants. His tongue is the most powerful weapon. Well, it may be weird calling it a weapon. So, as we were thinking about how we should build the game, Tezuka-san told us that it's centered around exploration. We took it as Yoshi's abilities are there to be utilized for exploration. From there, we were able to progress with the game's development smoothly.
By using yarn, there are new ways to explore.
There are a lot of transformations in the game because Yoshi himself is made of yarn.
So this time, we put in two-player mode. Two Yoshis appear, and that actually plays really well. Two people can play to help each other out. So in tough situations, if there are two players, they can both overcome it. Yoshi can eat up and spit out the other Yoshi wherever he likes. This is really important in co-op and can be used in a way to attack the other player. Really, a wide range of gameplay is possible. We've made prototypes of different ways to express the yarn fabric for Yoshi, and we felt that the stuffed yarn Yoshi was particularly attractive. There was quite a phase of trial and error until we decided to go with the current form.
Yeah, this time it's about a textured look. And we also wanted to give the world a handmade feel. But we then asked, what makes things look handmade? We tried making things of our own, hoping that it would help in reflecting the handmade feel to the game.
There is certainly a key phrase that I have. It's amazing Yoshi. I always want to put in the element of surprise. And I want to make it a game that brings a smile to your face just by owning it.
Here you go!
Oh! Hello!
Hello.
Hey, look, I'm really sorry about kidnapping you 80+ times. My bad. So, is it cool if I have the last donut? I deserve that.
Last year, I said that revisiting the conventions of the Zelda series would be our theme for the new Zelda game for Wii U. However, before I get into that, let me talk about something that I needed to help to realize this ambition. In fact, it's something that we've wanted to do for a long time in the Legend of Zelda series, and so development began with this as our focus. In the earlier releases of the Legend of Zelda games, players got to explore a wide area, scrolling up, down, left, and right. However, after the game transitioned to 3D and the hardware continued to evolve, it became harder to create that feel of being in a vast world. For example, in Wind Waker, we used various techniques to create a wide world where you could freely explore many isolated islands. But it was very hard to create one large world where everything felt connected. We had to design small, bounded areas with a defined entrance and exit. And putting them all together made it feel like you were playing in a large world. But you still couldn't cut through the boundaries wherever you liked to explore that world. Today, I'd like to talk to everyone about the latest Zelda game for Wii U. But first, please take a look at how the game looks on screen. This is the new world of Zelda. It's quite a vast world, isn't it? You can even reach those mountains in the distance if you walk far enough. We couldn't create such a wide world like this in the past. As far as what you can do with such a vast field to explore, as soon as those boundaries are removed, it means you can enter any area from any direction. So the puzzle solving in this game begins the moment the player starts to think about where they want to go, how they will get there, and what they will do when they arrive. This is a clean break from the conventions of past games in the Zelda series, where you had to follow a set path and play through the scenario in the right order. I believe this departure will create opportunities for new gameplay that have not been experienced in previous Zelda games. As you can see, and as you know from the Zelda series, the world in these games can be quite peaceful. However, it is a Zelda game after all, so strong enemies will certainly appear, even in this setting. Powerful enemies appearing in such a peaceful world is one of the defining features of the Zelda series.
I think that's one convention we can keep, right?
Do you ever take those gloves off? No! Take my gloves off, do whatever I want.
Oh, here we go. Okay, now.
Shut up!
Dead witches get dragged to hell. It is what it is.
These are the gates.
Whatever your friend did to get on the other side of these, let's just say she's not having a good day. Welcome to hell, love.
I'm not one for pets who don't listen to their masters.
You're probably the only person on the planet who says, go to hell, and means take me there.
I'm afraid I don't have time to dance too long. A friend is waiting for me.
Time's almost up. Day and You better start creating miracles.
You can go another round, can't you? Flock off, Featherface.
I'm the general producer of Hyrule Warriors, Koinuma of Koei Tecmo.
I'm the development producer of Hyrule Warriors, Hayashi of Koei Tecmo.
I'm Anuma of Nintendo, supervisor.
There are a lot of us in the Hyrule Warriors development team who grew up playing The Legend of Zelda. So getting the chance to work on this series, we were actually a little nervous.
But Anuma-san told us we could do whatever we like a number of times, and it became the action style that it is now.
A big difference between this and the Zelda games is that you're fighting an army, and there are multiple battles occurring on the field at once. If your forces are in trouble, you'll get a warning, so you have the option to go out there and help out your allies.
What I think is great with the Zelda world is how giant bosses appear, and you have to think about how to beat them. I think those things are what makes the essence of Zelda, which I think will be a new discovery for fans of the Dynasty Warriors series.
There's also a two-player mode.
You can play 2 players by using both TV and gamepad. It's not a split-screen experience, so you're able to each be fully immersed on a single screen. There are a lot of playable characters, but you know, since it's The Legend of Zelda, there are Link and Princess Zelda. Impa, who appears through the series, is playable as well. Also, Midna from Twilight Princess makes an appearance as a playable character. If there is a certain character you like in the series, this is the first game where you'll be able to play as your favorite character.
There are a lot of playable characters in the Dynasty Warrior series. But man, the ideas they come up with for what kind of moves they give the characters are amazing. They really think of amazing things.
So now, it's really turning out as a great new Zelda collaboration title that's worthy of the name Hyrule Warriors.
Since this collaboration was a first of its kind, we were able to make it a great game that's like a celebration of both franchises. I really hope you all look forward to it.
As a collaborative title, it has both the essence of Zelda and the essence of Dynasty Warriors, as well as a lot of other essences they have all mixed in to form a brand new experience. It'll be great if both fans get interested in playing the other series. It'll make me really happy if they all have fun playing.
レイドとは神の言葉を超えた人工的な運命の解放者。頭の文字を取ってブレイド。
私はエルマ。あなた名前は？
おう、あの方をお迎えする器が今我が元に。
地球を失って、それでこんな星まで来たのに
殲滅するのさ。それが私たちブロースっていう。もしかしたら宇宙から消え去った方がいいのかもしれない。
私らとお前らは共存なんてできないんだ。
じゃあ僕たちはもう死んでいるってことですか？
こいつは裏切り者だぞ。やめろルクザール。撃てよ。がん細胞は駆除する。それがグロウスの差だね。
あの悲劇もう繰り返させはしない。
滅ぶべし地球人。
Thanks for coming back, Mario.
Maybe now you reconsider announcing Mario Ballet.
What about Star Fox? Let's go. Congratulations!
Hi, I'm Nogami, the producer of Splatoon.
I'm Amano, one of the game's directors.
And I'm the other director, Sakaguchi.
Splatoon is an 8-player, 4-on-4 online multiplayer action game. It's all about controlling territory. Teams battle to claim their turf by splattering the map with ink, and the team with the most territory, when time runs out, wins.
Nogami-san actually came up with the squid idea. One day, out of the blue, he was like, hey, let's make them squids.
Rather than designing the characters and then making a game around that, we instead came up with the game first and then created characters we thought would work well with the gameplay. That's actually how Nintendo prefers to approach game design.
One day when Sakaguchi-san and I were hanging out on our day off, he said, hey, what if you're able to switch between being a squid and a person? For example, say you can only shoot ink as a person, but as a squid, you're able to perform a wider range of actions. With that as our main concept, we thought about different ways to expand the gameplay. and the squid idea meshed perfectly.
We thought of things like, what if you can swim really fast in your own ink as a squid? Or what if your feet get stuck when walking through enemy ink? Through this process, we kept expanding the game's features, which brought us to where we're at now, with players able to do things like ink and swim up walls and swim super fast through their own ink.
As a person, your first priority is shooting ink to expand your territory. Once you've done that, you've got more turf to move through as a squid and make use of your squid abilities.
When you're using the gamepad, you can quickly look up or tilt your gaze downward to aim. It's really natural and intuitive. I think these controls are a great use of the gamepad's gyro sensor.
An overhead view of the entire map is also displayed on the gamepad. And you can check it to see what colors of ink are being splattered where in real time. This really lets you keep an eye on how the battle is unfolding.
Normally with shooters, you only get moment-to-moment glimpses of the action. But because of the layering nature of splattering the ground with ink, you can tell by glancing at the map what other players are up to and where they're headed. I think that adds a new layer of strategy to a game like this. Spices it up a bit. The other neat use of the gamepad is making use of your allies' icons displayed on the map. If you tap one of these icons, you'll blast off from your location and land next to them ready to go. This is just one more mechanic that adds a nice twist to the strategy.
Your enemies are shooting ink as well. With regular guns, you can't really see bullets flying by. But since this is ink, you'll be able to see it flying from around a corner, and you'll know, whoa, there's a bad guy over there.
If you forge forward and ink a path, your allies will be able to use it to follow you, and you'll be able to get to your enemy's territory quicker. But on the other hand, they can just ink over that and ruin your strategy. In this way, splattering ink is both an offensive and a defensive tool.
There are a lot of different ways to play depending on your style. Some people like to stay hidden in the ink for a long time and wait for the perfect chance to pop out. Other people just blaze ahead, inking a path to try to get as far as they can into enemy territory as fast as they can. There are a lot of different tactics you can employ, but no matter how you play, the ink you're shooting has an effect on everyone else. You'll never feel like you're playing alone or in a vacuum. It's pretty magical, really. Amano-san, you like to try and ambush people, right?
Do I? Yeah, I guess so.
I play it a bit safer and lay down a lot of ink and make it hard for enemies to advance into my team's territory. I like to stay at home and protect the base.
Yeah, that's not my style at all.
I'm just plain bad.
Yeah, Nogami-san, you're really not very good.
Well, that just about wraps up things for the Nintendo Digital event. But at the same time, it's just the beginning of your continuous contact with Nintendo at the show this year. First of all, right after we sign off, we invite you to stay tuned on Nintendo's Twitch channel for our post-show recap. Nintendo Minute Live at E3. There's even more game news we didn't have time to squeeze into this video. If you're in the LA area, we invite you to come on down to the Super Smash Bros. Invitational this afternoon. It's a one-of-a-kind tournament in the Nokia Theater at LA Live to see as much Super Smash Bros. Live action as you could ever want. You'll find more details at e3.nintendo.com/invitational. But Nintendo's experience at E3 is also spreading across the country, thanks to our partnership with Best Buy. You'll find more details at bestbuy.com/smashfest. And if you want to just follow along without ever leaving home, our coverage is going to be nonstop. We're going to be broadcasting Nintendo Treehouse live at E3 from the show floor directly on Nintendo's Twitch channel. If you care about games, want to see more of the action, and hear from many of the people who created those games, this is binge heaven. And yes, Mr. Miyamoto will be among the guests. Follow us on our Twitch and YouTube channels, get more information at Nintendo.com, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and join the Miiverse E3 community. We've covered a lot of ground today, so I want to thank you for watching. But I just can't leave you without one more little teaser. Enjoy E3 and play Nintendo.
This fighter from Hyrule is quite impressive indeed. For a mere mortal.
Nice try! You're nothing compared to the Underworld Army!
Oh, I'm not here to save you, Pete. I'm here for a little, divine intervention.
Wait, you want to fight too, Lady Palutena?
I'm no stranger to fighting. Have you forgotten that time we fought each other?
Well, yeah, sure. But that was when the Chaos King had you under mind control.
Well, anything an angel can do, a goddess can do better. Perhaps you'd like to see some of the powers I once used to protect you. Heavenly Light, Explosive Flame, Roar, Rocket Jump, Reflect, Auto Reticle, Jump Glide, Counter, Super Speed, Angelic Missile, Celestial Fireworks, Lightweight, Black Hole, Mega Laser!
You don't have to prove anything to me, Lady Palutena.
Looks like angels only talk big. Many worthy foes have gathered here. And I won't hold back on anyone. Dark Pit. You just dropped in to crash my party?
Uh-huh.
宮本です。こんにちは。今ゲームパッドとテレビを使った新しいゲームをいっぱい作ってます。これはね、とても新しい体験のゲームがたくさんできたんですけども、今度 E3 でいくつかをお見せしたいと思います。ゲームパッドを使って遊んでると大きなテレビを見てる。そうすると遊んでる人以外にも周りで見てる人も楽しいんですね。 ぜひとも周りで見てても楽しい新しい経験を E3 のフロアでも見ていってください。よろしく。